Alright, come on in. Hit the like button, think button, subscribe if you're ready. New here, welcome to the channel, but most importantly, welcome to the Berserker family. So this is my personal opinion / review for the 2025 Amazon Prime comedy action film original called Heads of State. Now here's the plot. A rivalry between U.S. President Will Dringar and British Prime Minister Sam Clarke takes a backseat when their plane is shot down, and they must rely on each other to survive and uncover the dangerous global conspiracy. Now here's some of the cast. Well, this was so much more better than I thought it would be. Despite how it started out with corny John Cena, it actually got better and better as it went on. And it was very shockingly that it was actually way better than it was, than I thought it was going into it when I saw part of the trailer, and because it honestly plays on Amazon Prime, or plays on Amazon Prime, I believe is where it saw it, because it's like on the main screen, and it kind of looked like it was going to be another corny type of low-budget type of cheap film. It wasn't. Also, despite John Cena's form of comedy not always being funny, but enjoyable, he was still pretty entertaining and was a great pair-up with Idris Elba's character. Of course, Idris Elba, and I always have problems pronouncing his name, sorry, but he was fantastic and stood out more than John Cena, which is expected because John Cena is John Cena. I wasn't really a fan of him for years. I was never into wrestling stuff, but when it comes to films, the only thing I liked him in was a Marine, and for the longest time up until the DC comic book series under James Gunn series. I actually really liked him as just a standard entertainment person, not really as a comic or an actor. I do think he does a little bit better when he's more serious, and then you can see that in here. But both had a lot of badass fun spots and had pretty good character writing. But the action was honestly way better than the actual comedy. For the most part, there was definitely some comic scenes that were, kind of laughable in a good way. But for the most part, it was the action and the cinematography was what stood out way more than the comedy. Also, I found the plot and story to be very interesting of an idea. My favorite part, of course, and character was actually Jack Quaid's character. It was also one of the funniest and one of the couple cool scenes that I didn't even know he was going to be in this. Definitely a great surprise for me. Even though, I like him, but he's he plays almost the same kind of character every time. He's definitely better than John Cena when it comes to acting, obviously, but, it's kind of like, it is what it is when it comes to his stuff, and you know what to expect. But he was actually, in my opinion, and I think I said this before when I did The Companion, I think he does better with comedy than he does with straight up action. And this really showed that once again with him with this, like he did in The Boys. But here's my rating. I'll come up with my thoughts. Overall, not only did I have fun with this film, but I found myself really loving the film by the third act. I definitely recommend it for at least a very fun time. Definitely a good popcorn flick. Surprisingly for Amazon Prime original, film-wise. Their shows, I haven't really seen anything their shows in a couple years, so I wouldn't know how quality they are, but I've heard they're not the best. But that can be determined on your own. It's what I suggest is go into films, decide for yourself, series as well, and give your opinion on it. But yeah, so in the meantime, remember, I love you all. Please stay safe. Spread the love most importantly. Skull.